This tube contains a poem by Robert Frost called The Road Not Taken. It's about a kilobyte of information, and
this liquid contains a poem.
It contains millions of copies of that poem, actually.
Millions of copies of that poem, actually.
In a world drowning in data, where every click, photos, text, and messages generate a seemingly infinite digital footprints, humanity faces silent crisis, a storage apocalypse. Our servers are groaning on a terabytes of information, consuming energy on an unimaginable scale. And yet, we continue to demand more. But what if the answer to the crisis has been hiding inside us all along? Enhanced in the blueprints of life itself, DNA. Imagine a future where your entire digital existence, every photo, movie, and file fits inside a single drop of a liquid, preserved for centuries. This isn't a concept from science fiction. It is a promise of DNA data storage, a technology so revolutionary that it challenges everything we know about memory, biology, and the essence of data itself. So first of all, we have to understand about our problem. In our digital era, the exponential growth of data presents a colossal challenge. We must first confront a stark reality. Our digital infrastructure is panting under the strain of astronomical amount of data. And they're not only energy intensive, but also have limitation in terms of durability and capacity. Modern storage systems are fundamentally limited. They degrade within a decade, require vast physical spaces. Our hard drives, SSDs, and magnetic tape storage are not a method where you can save data for a long term. Also, you have put billions of dollars for maintaining big building, hundreds of billions of liters of water just for cooling, and it creates a carbon footprint equivalent to city. Think about that once in your head. A city's carbon footprint is equivalent to one server storage. I mean, imagine the scale where millions of people carbon footprint is equivalent to one data center. Digital infrastructure as a whole emits approximately as much greenhouse as all air traffic and big things in there from all of stored data. More than 60 to 80% of data are cold data, which are virtually never read or used, which stored away without anyone accessing it. It encompasses our archives, our emails, legal or administrative documents, and we are facing exponential increase in these cold data. The world is generating over 175 terabytes of data annually, a number so vast that even the most advanced data centers are burgeoning under the strain. At this rate, we will soon lack both the resources and space to sustain our unstable digital appetite. What we need isn't just an upgrade, we need a paradigm shift. Just like a DNA for billions of years, DNA has been the ultimate data storage system, encoding the entire instructions manual for life within its elegant double helix. A single gram of DNA can theoretically hold 215 petabytes of data. That's 215 million gigabytes. Its durability is unparalleled. Think of ancient DNA from Neanderthal's bone, still readable after thousands of years. This natural resilience could potentially store our history for future civilizations to uncover, much like we read ancient text. Today, at its core, DNA is a sequence of 4 bases: adenine A, cytosine C, guanine G, and thymine T. By converting binary data, zeros and ones, into sequence of these bases, researchers can encode digital informations into synthetic DNA. It is as if we are rewriting the genetic code not to create life but to preserve life. DNA can hold astronomical amount of data in a minuscule space. A storage 100,000 times compact than a traditional SD cards. So let's see how the process of DNA data storage is joining digital technology and molecular biology, where the essence of life itself, DNA, becomes the medium for preserving our most precious informations. Here's how it works, step by step. First of all, you have to understand about the process of them. And for that, we have to first encoding. Then we have to synthesize in lab. Then we have to try to store. Next, we have to understand about how we can read our data after preserving in DNA. So what is encoding? The journey begins by converting digital data into a format that DNA can understand. All digital files, whether files like images, videos, or documents, are stored in a binary represented by zeros and ones. Specialized algorithm translate these binary digits into a sequence of 4 nucleotide bases of DNA. For instance, 00 might correspond to AA, 01 might correspond AT, and 10 might correspond to GC, and 11 to TG. These mappings are carefully designed to minimize errors and ensure compatibility with natural structure of DNA. The result, a digital message transformed into a biological language. Then synthesize. Once the encoding is complete, the sequences are sent to a DNA synthesizer, which uses chemical processes to construct actual DNA strands. This involves assembling the nucleotide bases in precise order to match the digital data. The synthesized DNA is not extracted from living organisms. Instead, it's synthetic and tailor-made for storage purposes, eliminating ethical concerns. And after that, storage. The synthetic DNA strands are stored in tiny vials, often in dry or freeze-dried state, to prevent degradation. As you know about, our body is not degraded in these states. DNA is remarkably stable when kept in such environments. It can survive for thousands, even millions of years, as evidenced by fossils. To put its compactness into a perspective, a single gram of DNA can theoretically hold 215 petabytes of data. Imagine storing the entire contents of a Google's data centers in space, no larger than a sugar cube. And retrieval process, reading the DNA. When you need the data back, the process is reversed. The DNA strands are sequenced using technologies like next-gen sequencing (NGS) or polymerase chain reactions, both of which are commonly used in genetic research and diagnostics. These methods read the DNA sequence, identifying the order of the nucleotide bases. Advanced decoding algorithms then translate that sequence back into the binary, reconstructing the original digital data with an astonishing accuracy. And this is not mere speculation. Researchers successfully encoded a 200 MB video text file and entire operating system into synthetic DNA, retrieved it flawlessly, and proved its astonishing potential. Here's another jaw-dropping demonstration. In 2019, scientists stored the Declaration of Human Rights and implemented it into the cells of living organisms. Think about it, data within life itself, blurring the boundaries between biology and technology. We are not just storing data, we are weaving it into the fabric of existence. Companies like Microsoft and Twist Bioscience are actively working on this technology, and they have encoded lots of videos, text for next evolution. Of course, no revolution in technology comes without challenge, and the current cost of synthesizing and sequencing DNA remains high, making it impractical for widespread use, at least for now. There's also the issue of speed. Encoding and retrieving data from DNA is far slower than a traditional method, yet these hurdles are reminiscent of the early days of computing, when room-sized machine performed calculations that our smartphones now surpass. Just as Moore's law transformed the digital landscape, advancement in biotech and nanotech promise to bring DNA data storage into the mainstream. DNA data storage isn't just a technological innovation, it's a testament of humanity's ingenuity and its relentless quest to preserve the essence of what it means to be alive by merging the language of biology with the language of machines. We are not just solving today's storage crisis, we are creating a bridge to a future where knowledge endures beyond the boundaries of time and spaces, where past, present, and future could all be rewritten in the same molecule. If you find the value, do subscribe, because education and knowledge only can save humanity. Thank you. Bye bye.